So good afternoon. I take immense pleasure in welcoming each and every one of you present here, both online and offline. To give you all a brief about the ceremony, the Young Alumni Achievers Award was started in 2015 with the idea of recognizing the achievements of our alumni community. But one thing about this award ceremony was very special. This was always conducted during the PGP1's induction ceremony to serve as a source of inspiration for them and mark a good beginning to their journey with IIMA. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, we could not do this year, and it's happening a little later. It's still great to see the enthusiasm among the PGP ones, and it's just as high as it has been every single other year. Let's start off with the seventh edition of the ceremony with the welcome note by the director.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today and to see not just Anand, Sandeep. Sandeep is online, yes. Good to see you there. And imminent congratulations, Sandeep. And Daval and Saurabh, okay. And it's lovely to see family members here. It's a great pleasure. I'm so upset in a way that we couldn't have people in the audience. It's that way a very unfortunate year, but I suppose this is the best way that we should be doing this ceremony. As was mentioned, this is normally done at the beginning of the year. It's an opportunity for students who come into the institute to be a little starry-eyed and to see alums who have done well in their careers and who in a sense become role models for them as to what is possible and what dreams they may have. Okay? All of them, the greatness of this award is that you are being recognized by your peers. This is not a recognition from people you are working with, but people who in a sense are not part of your work life but understand what you have done and have contributed not just to the organizations that you belong to, but by and large also to the wider world in the type of work that you have done. The impact is recognized by peers of yours who understand how working in organizations can transform businesses as well as people's lives. When I think of young alumni achievers, not just this year but in previous years, an interesting part of their journey, I believe, has been the large intrinsic motivation that they would have. Okay? They're not driven purely by an external reward. You're not driven purely by some sort of a monetary or other transactionary benefit. It is an internal goal that I find many of them have set, and that is just to set a better objective for themselves, to pursue it, and then to even do better, after they have achieved that internal goal. This is something which leaders across the world are known for, their internal motivation, the ability to think through processes by which they themselves achieve a level of joy, and regardless of any recognition that may come their way. In fact, I have found that in certain cases, on being rewarded or being recognized, okay, there is in a sense some sort of an unhappiness because the goals that they set for themselves were very personal and was what drove them to do and to achieve what they have managed to do in the workspace that they have all been in. Okay? So I would sort of urge you that this is our way of recognizing what you do, but it doesn't mean that you should lose steam. Okay? We look forward to even better achievements in the future. As you set your own goals, okay, as you think about how you are impacting the world around you, but at the same time setting personal goals by which you grow, we all do benefit. Okay? And so it is a worthwhile achievement for which no reward that we could give you or no award that you could win, okay, would be adequate recognition. Okay, I'm quite sure you know this. A good leader is one who's driven by commitment, but also by autonomy. Okay, and that is really the basis of good decisions and an ability to take people along. Okay, so congratulations to each one of you. It's a it's a pleasure to welcome you back on campus. We we actually take great pride in the work that you have done. It is not just a recognition of your own achievements per se, but also the backing of your family members who are here, as well as the responsibilities that your organizations bestowed on you, and what they saw in you as persons that allowed you to grow and to make these achievements possible. Okay? So all the best in your careers. Keep coming back to the institute. Keep regaling us with stories of the achievements that you have. There will be, I know, ups and downs. Many careers go through that. But if you are internally driven, like I know you are, then you will actually find much satisfaction even in the lowest of lows. So it is, I don't want to stand between you and the ceremony. I am actually particularly pleased because I've seen some of you in a different avatar in a classroom. And I actually, for me, it is a great reward to see this transformation, that you actually took one of the very serious learnings of the institution, which is that all alumni go out into the world, make an impact on not just the organizations they work for, but for the societies around them in a sustainable way. So it's not a one-off flash in the pan, but continued effort which delivers benefits to you and to the rest of society. All the very best to each one of you. Thank you.
I now invite Professor Saral Mukherjee, the Dean of Alumni and External Relations, to deliver his welcome note.
It's a very joyous occasion to have the alumni come back to the campus, and if the alumni who are coming back are actually making an impact on society, there is nothing better that to think of as a joy as a teacher. So thank you, Anand, Sandeep, Dhaval, Saurabh, and Kaushalendra for the work that you are doing. And at least two of the participants could not join us today because of other reasons, but at least we are happy to have three of the young alumni achievers on campus with us. As Errol just mentioned, this actually is done on a different setting. Today we are doing it in a completely different setting because of the pandemic. Hopefully it would be better the next time that we do it. This is the 7th edition of the Young Alumni Achievers Award. And this year we looked at a large number of nominations, and the selection committee comprised Professor Biju Varki, Professor Amit Karna, Professor Namrata Chindarkar, and myself. And also Pratibha helped us in terms of the student support. So I thank Pratibha and her team, Victor, Anurag, and the team there in the alumni office, and also my faculty colleagues who were instrumental in going through the nominations and selecting the young alumni achievers for this year. If you look at the motto of IIM Ahmedabad, it is Vidya Vinogat Vikas, and the focus has to be on that word Vikas. And development through application of knowledge should be our motto going forward. All the 5 young alumni achievers whom we are honoring today have demonstrated development of society in multiple different areas, not just management, businesses, but also government sector. Uh, as Errol mentioned, this is just a milestone in your journey. We would like you to continue the development that you are doing for society so that we can very proudly take your names and say, look, so and so is an alumnus of IIMA. So thank you for the development that you are doing for society. That's what this institute should stand for, and you are our ambassadors in that development process. Thank you for coming down to the campus and accepting this award from us. Thank you.
Now let's move on to announcing the winners from the different categories. To start off with, we have Mr. Anant Daga, who is our winner from the PGP 2001 batch in the corporate leadership category. So I call upon the director and the Dean AIR to stand here and present the trophy and the certificate. Anant, I'd love to hear a few words from you now.
Only few.
Many.
And I am a pass out, you just can't say few. First of all, a big thank you to the Institute for calling us young. I come from fashion business where being on the wrong side of 30 means you are old. So this is really, really flattering. I guess this was my last chance to get this beautiful award, and I would like to thank the jury, the faculty, all my batchmates, and everyone else who considered me to be worthy of it. Thank you all so much. If you look at this award, it's very, very special. You know, getting recognized by your alma mater, someone who you've always held in awe, is really special. And this award, frankly, is a culmination of effort of many, many people. Frankly, 22 years back, when I was selected for this institute, not only me, but everyone who knew me was surprised, how did I enter this place? They thought there must be a bug in the system. Until date, people say, agar tera ho gaya, to kisi ka bhi ho sakta hai. And from that day till this day, to get this award, I think life has come a full circle. I must thank a lot of people today who all played probably a bigger role than me in achieving this award for me. To start with, as sir was saying, the faculty and teachers throughout my student life who really would have to struggle a lot with me. But finally, they were able to make some sense out of me. So a big thank you to all the teachers. My friends and my batchmates, I got so inspired by their grit, by their brilliance, I just can't even express. And frankly, in all humility, I think each one of them deserves this as much, if not more, than what I do. I have to thank my colleagues and my teammates back at work. You know, they cover for all my weaknesses. They cover all my deficiencies, and they make me look much better than what actually I am. So a big thank you to them. And finally, to my family for their unwavering support and belief. My parents are here. I can't thank you all enough ever. My kids are there. The younger one is already donning an IIMA t-shirt. I think, you know, their enthusiasm and their hugs and kisses are something which can wipe off the worst of the days. So, real stress busters. My brother, younger brother, who again is a pass out of IIMA 2007, though he's 5 years younger, how I wish I could be more like him. And my wife, Nidhi, it wouldn't have been possible without you, definitely. So thank you all so much. I dedicate this recognition to my grandfather, who was the driving force behind me getting into IIMA, someone who inspired me more than anyone else could ever do. And today, wherever he is, he must be the happiest person in the universe seeing me achieving this today. Thank you. No, I'm not over. It's just the thank you part that's over. So I am now to start, right? Uh, 2 years at IIM Ahmedabad. Well, that was nothing like I have ever experienced either before or after. For the first time, I stepped out of my home, and what a place to land at. A complete roller coaster, topsy turvy, high adrenaline ride. That's all I can say. Starting from the quizzes, the 2 p.m. quizzes. Yesterday I went to the canteen and the first thing I checked was board में quiz लगा है क्या? लगा था 245 SM. So I was thinking what it would have done to the student. We used to freeze कि लग गया भागो. क्या करेंगे मालूम नहीं, but खाना छोड़ो और भागो. The whack run, which he did again once today. You already write a lot of thing which doesn't make sense and try to improvise it till the last moment and then making that dash. Future options risk management course. What was that? I couldn't figure out till the end. There were so many memories. I can never forget the first exam I took here. I got a 97 out of 100 in quant. That was my career best. Just to realize that I was in the bottom 10% of my batch. Frankly, that day I realized why the term called relative grading would have been invented. And the first semester in IIM Ahmedabad taught me what the word survival means. But I survived. A lot of good fun we had. 2 a.m. Anda Maggies at night retreat. That was the only place which we had. Till date, when I'm working till 1 or 2, I eat a Maggie. So that's a lifelong habit. The ritualistic topaz lunch every week. There was one day in the campus those days when we couldn't figure out आज बना क्या खाने में. And then we used to go to topaz कि यार चलो 35 rupees में we'll get a very fixed thali. A lot of memories. But if I have to talk about 2 or 3 things which I have taken away for life from this place, and I can't thank the campus and the faculty out here enough. The first, it made me push my boundaries. For the first time in life, I realized I am much more than the person I see in the mirror every day. There's so much more to me. But this place really brought that out. And that gave me the mindset which stayed with me forever. Even today, when I see a challenge, the first thought is, probably I don't have that caliber, I don't have that knowledge. But then I know, IIMA first term kar liya, to ye to kar hi lunga. And then you get after it. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned from this campus. And I can't thank IIMA again enough for it. Second, it opened me to the world of diversity. See, I come from a Calcutta Marwadi business family. All my relatives, jitno ko main janta hu, sab Marwadi businessmen. All my friends, Marwadi businessmen. I studied in the Birla schools. It was a very narrow world view that I had. But when I came to this place, wow, I was fascinated like a kid. There were people from different cultures, different regions, different walks of life. They all had their own thought processes. They had a different approach. It was a potpourri. And I really enjoyed that. And what it gave me? It gave me empathy. It gave me understanding. And it gave me an appreciation for difference that will exist always in life. And it has always worked. Today, when we run an organization which employs directly or indirectly more than 40,000 people, this is one skill that really works. And third, I told you I'm from Calcutta, Marwadi family. We always believed business is in my blood, so what's new to learn? But I think what Ahmedabad did to me was channelize that raw energy, gave a structure and framework, wherein I could think of building platforms and businesses, which would be much more than just my individual caliber. And I think that is something, again, which has really helped me. I've been told by the faculty that, there are a lot of students who are watching this, and you need to give them some mantras, some life tips, and some such big words. Frankly, to the students, I just want to say one thing. You guys are far smarter and more aware and more exposed than we ever were. How I wish we were as evolved as you are today. But if I have to just draw a couple of things from my life and to share with you, these would be those 2 or 3 things. But before that, a caveat. What has worked for me might not work for you. So please take every advice with caution. First, again, as Sir said, life is not just about relative grading. See, we all have our own journeys to follow. We have our own paths to carve out. So please be very clear what your heart calls out for. Just don't do something because it is fancy, it is in fashion. That's the popular choice. No, it's not about that. I learned it very, very hard way. Every batch believes that there was a bad time to pass out, and we are no different. So 2001 dot-com bubble burst. We thought life has come crashing down. I interviewed with 16 companies on day one. And why I remember 16 is because my wife actually complimented, wow, 16 interviews in a day, you are like Bond. Just to realize next morning I got rejected by all 16. And then I didn't know what to do. And this is, I'm not counting the places who didn't even call me for the interview. वो तो खैर बहुत ज़्यादा थे. Probably call it sheer desperation, call it peer pressure, call it whatever you want. I became a banker. I had no interest in finance. I had no interest in banking. I wanted to do marketing. I wanted to become a consultant. And what did I become? A banker. And what followed for the next 2 years was probably the worst part of my career. Not because I was not doing well. I was doing reasonably well. I could have made a career, but I was not happy. Sunday evening, I would get jittery. अरे Monday आ गया, office जाना पड़ेगा. So this is my first learning. No setback or failure could be more disastrous than the life that you don't want to live. So please listen to your heart. Second learning, if you have got into a bad movie, you don't have an obligation to see it through. Get up, move out, cut your losses. This again is a learning that I personally experienced. After being in the bank for 18 months, 20 months, I decided to shift careers and I moved to that time it was a very small sportswear brand in retail wherein hardly any IIM graduates used to go, but I made that shift. And today, that is the best decision I've ever taken in my life. I feel so. But at that point in time, it sounded very stupid. Treasury from a big bank to small retail. People said, तुमने एक promotion खो दिया, increment नहीं मिलेगा. What have you done? Start of your career. But I think that's the best decision I took. And and this is another message. Life is not about T20. It's a test match. Couple of bad overs don't matter. But if you are caught in someone else's game, you will never excel. Not possible. So the point is, cut short the losses, get up sooner than later. You have little to lose, it's easier that way. And third biggest learning, to all the analytical minds that come to campus, and we look at courses like HR and interpersonal relationships, soft courses. Yaar, chalta hai. I think that is the most important part of life. See, individually we can do only as much. I think it's all about building people, building teams, building cultures. Everything else follows. So please start investing in relationships today. Start investing in people today. These soft courses are most important. Life is not an arena for individual excellence. To my mind, it's about a team game. Well, I won't bore with too many more anecdotes, though I can go on and on. Ultimately, I would just say that I can only thank my stars for putting me in a journey which is so rewarding and which is so exciting every single day. And once again, I would just like to express my gratitude to everyone who made this possible. And finally, to the current batches, wish you all a very, very super future. A future which will get the best potential out of you, a future which your heart calls for, and a future for which you are made. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Sandeep Gupta. He could not join us offline, but he's there on Zoom. So Sandeep is a PGP 2011 graduate, and he is a winner in the entrepreneurship category. So Sandeep, so we've sent out the award and the certificate to him, and it will reach him soon. But we'd love to hear a few words from you now. So can you please unmute and speak?
Absolutely, absolutely. Hopefully, you can hear me as well.
Yes.
And first of all, thanks to the Institute for this award, and congratulations to my fellow winners. And Anant, first of all, great speech. A tough act to follow, but again, would have loved to be in person over there. So I got blessed with my daughter around a month back. So I'm in the US currently and couldn't travel, but would have loved to be back in the college. It always gives you shivers when you see inside the same classroom, and it's always fun to see being in the same kind of a setup. So first of all, thanks the institute for the recognition, and thanks Professor D'Souza and Saralda. Again, guys, learn a lot from my professors, my teachers, and can't express my gratitude enough for this award. Would love thank my parents, my colleagues, and my entire batch as well for nominating me for this and giving me this recognition. So the first thing that I would like, again, whenever I think about IIM Ahmedabad, and I think what all of us would agree is that it's just the tough rigor that you get into the habit of when you are a part of the institute. So it's a very common saying, right, that if you can survive the first semester at IIM Ahmedabad, you can probably survive everything or anything that comes your life. And it actually is very, very true. Uh, the 15-hour work regime, the 16-hour work regime, and still having fun for the 4 hours and 4 hours of sleep and still surviving. I think that confidence that it gives in you that you can still survive and you can still make it happen, I think that stays with you for a lifetime. I think personally for me, I am Ahmedabad helped build my character a lot from that standpoint. So it gives you that confidence at the core level. Like entrepreneurship is like again not always the easiest path to take. And back in the day when I passed out 2011, it's not also one of the most popular. Like this to this day, at least now, entrepreneurship got very kind of famous, flashy, and you would see that a lot of startups keep coming up. But back in the day, it was not the popular choice. So if you were going against the flow in terms of that, okay, you wanted to start something on your own, it wasn't like not only the popular choice, but a few people only in your family would support you. A lot of people would say, "ये पागल हो गया है, क्या करना चाह रहा है?" But like again, you just take that route, right? I think over there, I am Ahmedabad helped me a lot because the piece of degree that you get, it makes you feel that level of life insurance in a way that come what may, agar matlab like any problem comes up, any challenge comes up, still you have that degree with you to fall back on. I think that confidence that it gives you is worth its weight in gold or whatever that you want to call it. Nothing else can like measure that same level of confidence. So that was one thing that always stood out for me. That amount of confidence it gave you. The other thing also is then the kind of network that you create and the kind of learnings that you have. You start seeing opportunities in areas which otherwise you wouldn't have. So, passing like I'm a BTech software engineer otherwise, was working at Microsoft prior, and then when I came to IIM Ahmedabad, learned the business tricks. Like again, it starts making you feel that yes, you know what, यहाँ पे भी opportunity हो सकती है, वहाँ पे opportunity हो सकती है. So I still remember that during my IMA days, it was all about finding that business idea कि क्या करना है, and I participated in a ton of those kind of competitions, built up all those kind of business plans. So it was all that कि यार कोई idea मिल जाए तो उस पे start कर लेंगे. In hindsight, I pivoted a lot on idea, but it was a lot on the team with you wanted to start it. And luckily, I got my co-founders after I passed out from the institute. Again, they were from IIT, so a few of them batchmates. So again, the three of us then got together. We started this as a self-funded startup, which is a new norm. Sorry, not it's an old norm, I would say. जो कि पहले लोग करते थे अब तो like you start up and you get huge amount of funding off the gate, but it was a self-funded startup and the vision was always that okay, you know what, there are a ton of software services company in the industry. Can you like really create a true software kind of a platform? And if you look at platforms, especially in the software world and everywhere else, most of them are coming from US, right? So you would find the Salesforces of the world, you would find the Twilios of the world, again, multi-billion-dollar kind of organizations, but all of them primarily out of the Western world kind of thing. So I think that was one of the things that we wanted to do that, okay, you know what, rather than just being a pure play services organization, can we create something which is more product driven and come out as a product driven organization started from India. So we started the organization more like a software services company. Why we had to do that? The primary reason was that it was self-funded. So those services helped us, but the vision was that we wanted to create something from India, which was of a significant scale and size. And we pivoted on that idea that we were industry agnostic. Then we went into and tried finance. Eventually, we landed in healthcare, where we found that, you know what, the opportunity is significant, and what you could like really create out of it. So for the last 6 7 years now been at it again, we got just a series E funding, I think as of last month now. It values the company significantly higher at 3.5 billion. We'll touch the $100 million mark as of next month at the end of the year, kind of thing. So again, great growth trajectory, growing at 80 to 100% year over year. A lot of my juniors from Ahmedabad are now a part of the team as well, from IIT days as well. So I think got a good set of people which are there, which are now leading this. I think the vision, and now that seems much more real, is to create that largest software product company that has come out of India ever, kind of a scenario. And there is also like a lot of other good companies that have now got created, like Freshworks is there, which is into a same kind of a CRM space, but it's more industry agnostic. So coming out of India and then creating that largest platform is now, that used to be a distant dream with no path to it. At least now there is a path to it, that yes, we can achieve and we can like finally arrive over there. Not now, but probably in a few years time frame. So so again, thanks to the institute for this recognition. I think, as Professor D'Souza was saying, right, that this is only the start of the journey, perhaps in some way or form. There is still a long way to go, and great to like be recognized this way. Thank you all.
Next, we have Mr. Daval Jain from the PGP 2012 batch. He is a winner in the social and public service category. So, Daval, please come up and collect your award and certificate.
I thank everyone here, especially my parents who are sitting here, my wife back home. And I thank the Institute, Professor D'Souza, Professor Mukherjee for considering me worthy of this award. Now, talking of worthy, I remember a second year course, which I don't know why I took, called AMDA, the Advanced Methods in Data Analysis by Professor Laha. And at the end of the course, we had to make a presentation displaying whatever we have learned. And obviously, I had not paid too much of attention in the course, as you understand from the name. So I decided that I'll pick up a topic which is very interesting, eye-catching. So I decided I'll do a bit on Sachin's batting statistics. His videos were picked up, his pictures were picked up, and I made a very good presentation. But my batchmate Prashast, who was sitting in a similar auditorium in old campus, he knew I had no idea of what I'm talking about. So he said, Dhaval, what is the recommendation you have for Sachin Tendulkar? So I have no idea. So I blurted out, just because I have done AMDA or a course, who am I to give any recommendation to Sachin Tendulkar? He's the god of cricket, the little master. Who am I to give a recommendation? And everybody started clapping. Now, Prashas knew that I had no idea. So he was very angry. He shouted that he might be the little master, but you are the globe master, which in Vimbian lingo is a person who can faff a lot. So, and I have been told that I have to, it's a deja vu moment that I have to make these recommendations to now PGP 1s, PGP 2s. They are the Sachin Tendulkars of our generation. And I promise that I will not globe at all today. I'll just tell a few stories from my life. So I came to IIMA from a very comforting environment, very protected, because this was my first hostel. So I was kind of self-centered. I would say I was selfish. I was bordering selfish. And PlaceCom happened then. And it changed my life forever. Day after day in that placement office, I don't know how many nights I have slept at that placement office just because I didn't want to walk back to D12, which is the other corner of the campus, and go to class directly from there. Missed out on n number of social events, exchange, personal life, and a lot of people will say, "But CV point to mil gaya." But the sacrifices we have made for that CV point, I don't think it compensates at all. But seeing your batchmates getting placed, seeing your seniors jumping with joy, your juniors very, very happy, this is the first time in my life I realized that seeing others happy actually made me happy. If I contributed to somebody's happiness, I felt happy about it. That placecom made me realize. Now, like anybody else, I also wanted big bucks in life. So I interned with a investment bank, got a PPI. Before the result came out, I had joined a consulting firm. Now I am happy in this consulting firm, and my boss from Singapore calls me that, "Arey, why don't you join us?" So it's kind of as if they have forgotten to tell me the result. So why don't you join us in Singapore? And I thought for a while, and this is the first time again in my life I said no. I don't know why now, but I said no because I realized that I can say no to money for something I liked, something I was passionate about. And again, this happened for the first time in my life. My grandfather, who is not with us today, was admitted in a hospital, and I was the night attendant, so I used to be with him every night. And one night he held my hand and he said that, "Why don't you appear for the IAS exam?" Now, it is not the first time that he had told me this. But think about the person who is on a deathbed or fighting for his life, and the only thing at the top of his mind is, "Why don't I appear for this exam?" It had a huge impact on me, but I didn't really do anything about it. I continued with my job. 3 months into consulting, I got a very good project in New York. So they asked me that, "We are processing your H1B visa." So I was very happy. I went to my boss, but I just wanted to hear more good things from his mouth. So I told him that, "Why did you select me? Why not anybody else?" Thinking that he'll talk about IIMA and things like this. And he immediately on my face tells me that, "You are a low cost resource." Now, it hurt me. It hurt me. You're laughing, but it hurt me. Because I am so much of education, and this person calls me in seconds a low cost resource. I that very day decided that I will never do a job in my life where in seconds somebody will be able to find my auqat, my value on my hourly wage, my salary. So I decided I will never do a job in my life that day. So that grandfather thing suddenly took a trigger. Now, I started preparing for the IAS with the job. And I didn't have the courage to actually leave my job for such an unpredictable exam. So I was preparing for it in Mumbai. And IIMA, as Anand just mentioned, just transforms you in a manner that you just continuously push your boundaries. You start competing with yourself. There is a time when you're just competing with yourself. So I kind of remember the Shodh Yatra course. I had bid very high points for it. So Professor Anil Gupta is making us walk from morning to evening, from one village in Ladakh to another village, and in the night, he's discussing about what is life, what is truth, what do you want in life. And I'm fed up. I ask him that, "Why are you not talking about these questions in the day? Why are we aimlessly walking around from village to village?" And he says, "This is to bring your defenses down. This is so that you tire down and you hear what you want to do in life from within." And I applied the very same when I was preparing for the exam. Believe me, I could afford a car. I always took the local train. I went to office at 6 a.m. in the morning. My security guard didn't come. I stayed till 12 to avoid the Mumbai traffic. I don't know how many hours I slept, but I led a very sedentary life. Didn't pamper myself at all, just to keep those defenses down. Otherwise, it would not have been possible with a job. And I got promoted in 1.5 years. My boss, thinking that from 6 to 12 he's in office, he promotes me pre-time. And I tell you, this is a feeling which I have, that one should always be very clear that we should not resist what IIMA does to us. It basically breaks us to make us. It breaks us to basically make us understand that we are people who can push boundaries to any level. We will never settle for less, and that is the huge impact IIMA has had on me. And post that, as now I am an IAS officer, IAS has never allowed me an opportunity to forget complain, not even rethink my decision. In a few days into the job, I have spent 10 days at LOC. I have done multiple meetings in a belly of a submarine. I have found myself presenting to the President of India in the Darbar Hall of Rashtrapati Bhavan. 3 months with ISRO, I worked on a mining surveillance system based on satellites, got selected to present to the Prime Minister of India, did that in Vigyan Bhavan. I was selected to represent the country in IVLP which is US government's most prestigious exchange program, and all my co-participants there were mayors of cities, members of parliament, ministers from different countries. COVID struck, and I am the municipal commissioner of a city which is as congested as Howrah, 24,000 people per square kilometer. We were looking after lockdown, we were looking after contact tracing, admissions, vaccinations. The moment vaccination came in, I was the state nodal for vaccination. When second wave hit, I was looking after admissions in Kolkata. Now, this is not a job. It has been an experience, it has been a dream to live. And I have never considered it to be a job. My father, who is sitting here, is an alpha male kind of a person. You will not even see him smiling. He's smiling a little today, but you will not even see him smiling. But the day I am getting the President's Gold Medal from late Pranab Mukherjee, he is crying like a baby in the audience. Now, what more can I do in life? What more can I do in life to make him more proud? Or what more can I do in life to achieve more satisfaction? Now, this is a unique opportunity I have got to work for India. Now, immediate question which I have and you would have, that are people sitting on dais not working for India? They are working for India. People who are watching us will work for India. My batchmates who are now in this private sector are working for India, but I am talking about a different India I am working for. Let me take an example for that. So I was very keen on working against human trafficking in tea garden areas in North Bengal. So one night we are doing a raid in the tea garden area. We catch a girl who was being trafficked. So I'm sitting in front of her, it's 2 a.m. in the night, and she says, "How dare you?" This was my only opportunity for good life. Now I am thinking that she'll thank me, and she says, "How dare you?" She wanted to get trafficked. Now this is the India I am talking about, which has not got the opportunity. Now we are very comfortable in our chairs that we are meritorious guys. We are sitting here because of merit. Yes, we are sitting because of merit, but that is secondary. The primary thing is the opportunity which we have got to be born in the right family, to get the right teachers. Most of India has not seen that opportunity. I request that we should all work for this India whenever you get time. And I will request you to donate, not donate money, donate skills and knowledge for this India, because we owe it to them. I was asked in my IAS interview that why do you want to do IAS after IIMA? They were surprised. And I had said this is the best use of management education we can have. And today IIMA has validated my decision that this was the best use of management education by giving me this award, and I am extremely thankful for that. And I still say that this is the best use of management education which you can have. Why to run a company when you can run the country? Why to run a company when you can run the country? Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Dhaval. Next, we have Mr. Kaushalendra. He also could not join us today, but he's joining us through Zoom. Kaushalendra, a PGP FABM graduate from 2007 batch, is also a winner in the social and public service category. So, over to you, sir, now.
Hi, thank you. I'm extremely sorry that I could not came over there and join physically. Currently, I am sitting in hospital. My wife is admitted, and we are expecting a child. And yeah, first of all, thanks a lot. Thank you all. It was a great honor to be selected as a young alumni achievement awardee this year. Today is one of the most important day of my life because I am getting the award, and also one prince or princess will come to our life, my life and my wife's life. So it is one of the most important day in my life. I am delighted to share this special moment with all of you, sir, and especially with my late father, who I lost this year. I know he must be listening and watching and feeling proud from his heavenly abode, wherever he is right now. And my mother, most important person in my life, lady who taught me since childhood, live the life for others. एक सेंटेंस बोलती है हमेशा, वो खुद के लिए जानवर भी जी लेता है. My beloved wife Rekha, my brother Dhirendra Bhaiya, and my daughter Katyayani, and my beloved community of small and marginal farmers, whose resilience, persistence, and doing things against odds, always challenge the nature, always challenge the climate, and challenging the many things, and always come up on the top. I still remember in 2005 when I got admitted at IIMA. Like I was 24-year old. I am 5'4", 5'4" small man who come from Bihar and with very heavy Bihari accent. And I always take pride of my Bihari accent, by the way. And not so good at English from a village in Bihar, but with a firm belief that if I am getting a chance to study at IIMA, the knowledge that I will get at IIMA, I could use for the benefit of society and the state. With that belief, I took the admission and I went there and spent my 2 years, and those 2 years were really wonderful. How the time fled, I still don't remember, but those 2 years were the most precious 2 years of my life. Every single second, every nanosecond was crucial. Every nanosecond I spent there in learning from my faculties, learning from staffs over there, learning from friends, peers, from everybody. I like to tell everybody who is listening that I am a prepared, maybe with much more than just advancement of knowledge. Many things instilled and imbibed in me during the 2 years at IIMA, like honesty, integrity, practicing ethics, always think of others before you, always think of your employees, always think of your staffs, always think of their families. All those small things, but very crucial to lead the life. I gained progressive knowledge from the best teachers, as well as my friends, classmates, and gained confidence and inspiration from achievements of alumni. When I was listening to Daval, Sandeep, I was getting goosebumps. Okay, wow, they have achieved so much. Let's, like when Daval was telling, IIMA teaches you to push the boundary. So like, okay, boss, okay, we can do that also. I learned to connect, to collaborate, to cooperate, to give, to share, and to shape thoughts, work, and to create and shape dreams to have positive impact, not only on your life, my life, but everybody's life. IIM Ahmedabad not only saved my professional life, it also taught me how to live a meaningful and ecologically sustainable life. As a social entrepreneur, as a son, husband, brother, as an alumni, I am proud of all. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all faculty, especially Professor Anil Gupta, Professor P.K. Sinha, Professor Satish Devdar, Professor Sukhpal Sharma sir, Professor Vijay Paul Sharma, and some of the students that I shared 2 years life over there. Vaibhav Bhamoria, Abhishek, Maxi, Mixo, so many, and to all, they all contributed very positively to my life. Whatever I am, wherever position I have reached, whatever I have achieved, it's all because of their contribution, their persistent support. You all are there who have created and will create an impact on people. My sincere request and my sincere, I could not say it's like advice or anything to everybody whosoever is listening, especially the current students. Please be a hero of your life and live your dream. Dream where you can have others in your dream. Because the future of ecological, environmental, and sustainable life, it is upon us. We can live those life. We can live our earth. We can have our earth for future generation for better things. I thank you all for making difference in my life, your life, and everybody's life, and playing the role of inspiration. Thank you all. Thank you all. And again, offer my apology because I, uh, tears running down. I am sitting in hospital. Thank you all, thank you all, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for that lovely speech. Next, we have Mr. Saurabh Sancheti, a PGP 2009 alumni, who is our winner in the corporate leadership category.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I just did my WAC run today again after 14 years, and it feels great. Although I've missed out on the timing, it took me 6.5 minutes from KLMDC to here, which is a full 120 seconds more than my previous record from DOM 16. So two learnings. First learning is, sorry. First learning is visit campus more often. A lot more things have come up, and it becomes really difficult finding your way. And two, WAC run is still fun. So, anyways, jokes apart, this is a big moment for me in my entire journey. And whatever I have been able to achieve, I at least believe it's not me. It's sum of parts of all the people who have come together in my life. I'm just the face of it. Uh, the first pillar obviously is IIMA. And I'm not talking about the management, education, or jargon. I believe the way it changed my attitude towards things really helped me in the long run. While I was going through it, especially first year, it was as painful as a lot of you have seen and known. And I didn't get the point of it. But today, I realize the significance of every little bit of it. The second important pillar is having the right mentors. Very few times in life, you will find mentors who are very wise, very secure, and would want you to succeed much more than them. I'm really thankful to all of them who have mentored me personally to see me going ahead. And lastly is my family. There have been darkest of the times in my professional and personal journeys. A lot of times I had given up, but my wife, my mother, my sister, my father, my friends, they were the ones who always pushed belief in me. When I lost my faith and hope, they were the ones who gave it to me. So truly to all these three stakeholders is what I dedicate my award to. I'm going impromptu like always. Somehow I always figure out that I do things last minute, and I've managed to now accept that fact that that is my personality. So I'll just give three small stories of my life, and that probably may help you in your journey. As I said, each one of us has different journey, but three small stories. The first journey or the first story is about passion. Now, when I was here, I spoke to a lot of alums, I always used to think, why does everybody keep talking of passion? And everybody wants to say, what do you want to do? And I had no answer. I had no clue what I wanted to do. So I graduated. At that time, markets were in meltdown. The best jobs were in FMCG. Went to an FMCG company. Did really well. But I still said, no, I'd want to do something else probably. Then I said, okay, maybe banking. Got into a boutique investment bank. Didn't like it at all. Was doing reasonably well. Then I said, maybe something else. 4 years, or rather 4.5 years post my graduation, I was lost. And I really didn't know what to do in life. And that's when I said probably planning doesn't work. So I'll just go with the flow. And then this interesting opportunity with Reliance came up. And rest is history. I really found what I'm passionate about. The point of this story is when you find your passion, you will know it. Until then, just keep looking. Don't stay stagnant. That's the only advice from my own life story, which is about passion. Now, probably you have got your passion, you are in the right space. What is to be done next? And this starts my second story. My second story is about a perpetual work in progress, continuous learner, curiosity, whatever you may call. So I landed up in Reliance M&A team. It was a big role. I was working for the head of M&A. The pay was nice. I was really happy. I was asked to do Canadian oil sands, and I had no clue about Canadian oil sands. Started learning. Within a couple of weeks, figured out that it is all about putting chemicals and heated water into the ground, take out the tar sands, purify them, push them through a pipeline, and then ship it. I had a few deals on table, but the involvement of geological team was high, so I was free most of the time. I just walked up to my boss and said, everything is going great. It's been only 3 weeks since I joined. I really have a lot of spare bandwidth. Is there something I can do? And he started smiling. I said, no, I have no complaints. Just give me some work. Just give me some direction. I'll start. He said, are you interested in telecom? Yeah, I'm interested in telecom. Just dive into it. The next 2 months were the most exciting phase of my life. I had no clue in telecom. I just thought that 4G could revolutionize India. I read through the whole regulations myself, spoke to a few analysts as to how it works, spoke to a few IIT friends who were working on LTE to figure out how it works. Made a whole business plan, and at the end of 2 months I said, this is the output which I have. Very interestingly, he loved it, and he forwarded it to his boss, who was the group CFO, Alok. Again, interestingly, Alok. Alok called me saying that, okay, what is this? How have you come through it? And I said, I could be grossly wrong. I have not met anyone at Jio. I have no clue what Jio would plan. But if I were in the shoes, that is what I'll do. He really loved that paper. And he forwarded it to Mukesh Bhai. And Sri Mukesh Bhai said, okay, who is this guy? What does he do? He said, no, he's a chemical banker. He's doing Canadian oil sands. He's free, so that is why he's writing this paper. And that's when he caught hold of me. And that's, the rest is history. I really learned and grew a lot. The idea here is that I was not limiting myself to what I knew. I was not limiting myself to what would yield result instantly. I was just a curious learner by the edge. And things worked out. I think one thing which we do on campus, which really helps us a lot, is case studies. But you know, campus case studies, they are really formal. One mantra which I agreed with my first mentor on the first day of job is to treat each decision in my company and have at least one live case study for me every week. And since the last 12 years, I've had one live case study every week at least, which could be as small thing as a marketing promotion. It's got nothing to do with what I do, but which would mean I'll go through the facts, I'll talk to the people, I'll try to form an opinion as if I were to do it. then what would I do? And what this does is, it is so powerful in the long run that it gives you a lot of perspective and learning. So moving on to the third story. So yes, you found your passion, you are curious. Now, what next? And the third story is about destiny. I'll just say this, that no matter whatever you do, whatever decisions you make, never congratulate yourself too much or berate yourself either. In the end, your choices are half chance and so are everybody else's. A lot of times in life, it is very easy to either congratulate yourself with something which has gone really supremely well or something which has gone wrong. You can beat yourself up to it. But look at it very dispassionately. And this unknown factor of destiny, karma, whatever you call, will be there to play a hand. Your job is not to focus on results, just keep on doing whatever you are doing. That's the three story. And I think in the end, one thing I like to conclude, because what typically it does is, see, we are from the most elite or one of the most elite institutions in the whole world. And what that does is that puts a lot of pressure on us for professional success. And just trust me, success, fame, money, all these things are overrated. At the end of the day, the happiest people are the people I've seen who live a fuller life. And while these three stories you can carry for your professional learnings, never forget the fourth one, which is the most important, which is find your balance. And never, ever, ever give up. That's it from my side. Thanks.
So we have one question on the chat box to Mr. Daval. So an anonymous person has asked, how did you adjust from working in the private sector to the public sector? And
So now, one simple answer is that obviously I had worked for the private sector for a very less or a very short duration, but I think it was not too much of a problem adjusting to the government sector, because I understand that the public sector is under disrepute for no reason. It's not that I have found lesser intelligent people there, or people who are less hardworking, or people who are less committed. It's just that we have a few structural issues. We have the way our organizations are structured. It that is the only adaptability bit we have to do. It doesn't require a lot of change in the way we think. It doesn't require a lot of change in the way we believe in things or what we believe in. So I personally feel that it was not too much of a change for me, except that yes, there, as Professor Salal Mukherjee would say, that the operations bit of things had to be changed, but rest everything, be it come to strategy or the way we approach people or the OB part of it, was very, very common.
Understood. Thank you. Yes, so I would like to thank each and every single one of you, the director, the dean, the awardees, and the families for being present here. And finally, I'd also really like to thank the faculty committee, the alumni office, and the ARC team for making the 7th edition possible. Thank you.